if you're looking at the end behavior, if you have x being, let's say, any number, right? And then if you plug in, let's say 3 over, this is just me throwing out numbers right there. So if you plug in 3 over 1000, you're going to see that this is approaching 0, right? Because 3 over 1000 is 3 times 10 to the negative 3, which is 0.003, right? Yeah. So as you can see, it's approaching 0, right? So if you plug in x, if it's not 1000, maybe you can plug in 10,000 or 5,000, right? You're going to see that it becomes 0.003, right? Which are all approaching 0. And in addition, right, or similarly for 1 over x, you're going to see that it's also approaching 0, right? So we can say that if you're looking at the end behavior, these two are approaching 0. So that's why when you have the degree of your numerator similar to the degree of your denominator, your function, right, would have a horizontal asymptote, and the ratio is based on your a, right, and your c. Does that make sense? So that's your horizontal asymptote. So in that case, this would be 5 over 2, right? Because this is 5 minus 0, and then you're going to see that it's 2 plus 0, so it's 5 over 2. Okay, there. So once you have that, sorry, this is an equal sign. Okay, so once you have that, you can actually start graphing. But before that, make sure we have the vertical asymptote. So vertical asymptote, again, it's going to be based on your denominator. Therefore, your vertical asymptote would be negative 1/2, right? So let's just write the equation. It's x is equal to negative 1/2. Right? And how do I know it's negative 1/2? Well, it's 2x plus 1, and that's equal to 0. When you move 1 to the opposite side of your equation, you're going to get 2x is equal to negative 1 divided by 2. Therefore, x is equal to negative 1/2. Okay, hopefully that was straightforward for finding the vertical asymptote. Now moving on to our x-intercepts and y-intercepts. So for your y-intercepts, that means, well, if you have more than one y-intercept, right? So y-intercept, you have to plug in 0 anytime you see an x, right? So maybe we can quickly go over that. So plug this into your calculator. So you have 5 times 0 minus 3. And then in your denominator, you're going to plug in 2 times 0 plus 1, right? So you're going to see that your y is equal to negative 3, right? So y-intercepts, y is equal to negative 3. And that's it, right? Plug in 0 whenever you see an x, you're going to see that it's negative 3. And then your x-intercept, maybe we can write that here. That means you need to have y equal to 0, right? So you're going to solve for your x. So 0 is equal to 5x minus 3 over 2x plus 1. Okay, as you can see, when you cross multiply, 0 times 2x plus 1 is 0. Therefore, you're going to have 0 is equal to 5x minus 3. And then you're going to solve for x, right? So moving 3 to the opposite side of the equation, you're going to get 3 is equal to 5x. Does that make sense, guys? And you're dividing this with 5, right? So x is equal to 3 over 5. Cool. Okay, so we know that our x-intercept is 3 over 5. So 3 over 5 is 0.6, right? Okay, this is way too much space. Let me just